Today's Cowboys Report is made possible by Roan. Their commuter collection gets you through any workday and right into whatever comes next. Head to roan.com/chatsports and use code chatsports for 20% off your entire order. Minicamp is actually over now for the Dallas Cowboys. We'll break down some news and notes coming out of day 2. If you want a complete overview and some winners and losers tomorrow, then simply share this video on Twitter. You can tag me in it on X, Facebook, Instagram, text it to a friend, whatever. Help us out. Help us continue to grow by sharing today's video. As we did on a short earlier this afternoon, I do want to spend some time, and I think it'll end up being more time than I'd planned on it, discussing a potential Zack Martin retirement after this season ends in what really shouldn't be a huge surprise, because we've mentioned it before too. Martin knows this might be one last ride for him. Asked, like, hey, are you going to retire? Is this your final year? He says, quote, I'm not saying 100%, but I think it's definitely in the realm of possibilities. And that's the one thing I don't want to do. For myself, I don't want to be thinking, oh, this is it. This is it. I want to stay in the moment. And I want to play the best that I can play at this point and be the best right guard this team needs on a weekly basis. And then after the season, we'll figure out what's going on. Look, this has long been a possibility for Dallas, and I don't think it should surprise you. People saw him like, out of nowhere. No, he's old. His contract's up. We've mentioned before this might be one the last year. Like, hey, this might be the last 2 years of Zack Martin's career. The play wasn't as good last year, if we're being upfront and honest. Now, there are some potential reasons behind that. I think the poor play of Terrence Steele and even Tyler Biadasz, to an extent, I think did contribute that as well. In that piece with the Dallas Morning News, Martin did blame the holdout as part of the issue. Just wasn't quite right the way he needed to. Now, Mike McCarthy asked about it today at his press conference. Wouldn't say the exact same, mentioned, the chemistry with the O-line wasn't quite right. Probably a little bit of that, if we're being honest. Why I don't like holdouts in general. Take care of your guys who deserve it, right? Because eventually you'll cut them, and that's fine. Martin also turned 34 in November. He's getting older now. He's not as good as he was in his prime. Still going to be a no-doubt Hall of Famer, but I do think Dallas, I think they have to prep for the fact that this might be one last ride for Zack Martin. So prediction time. After this season, do you think Martin retires from the Cowboys in the NFL? Y for yes, N for no at the pinned comment of today's show. Now, what's noteworthy to me here is the Cowboys kind of planned for this. Martin's contract is set up to either bring him back on a little one year at a time extension, or let him retire and then adjust the Cowboys salary cap as needed. Now, Zack Martin this year has a $15.5 million salary cap hit. That ain't too bad. They didn't adjust it for a reason, though. His cap hit next year is just $10.66 million and then $17 million in 2026, despite the fact that it voids. All that is dead money. March 15th, right around the start of the new league year, the contract voids. That would leave $26.46 million in dead money. That's a lot of money for a player not on your roster. Now, of note, no dead money in 2026. What you would be able to do is, Zack Martin can do a little fake extension, which has been done before, and push that void money and the base salary of like the vet minimum with no new guaranteed money, do a fake extension, restructure it, and then retire post-June 1st, or the Cowboys could cut him post-June 1st. They'd probably rather do the fake extension to spread that dead money out. 9.4 in 2025 and 17 in 2026, when by then the salary cap is going to be approaching $300 million. This is the highest Zack Martin's contract as cap hit has been, was $14 million. And you do this backloading type of stuff knowing that it's going to have some bunch of dead money here at the back end of it, because you do the exact same thing with your next super high-paid player, CeeDee Lamb, where you actually save money on Lamb over the next 2 years and then backload it, and if you're always backloading, it evens out. So yeah, there's a lot of big dead money there. You haven't paid him very much over the course of his career relative to the salary cap, which is important to consider. Some more on this to come here on today's show, but it is made possible by our friends over at Roan. The mail closet was due for a radical reinvention. Roan has stepped up to the challenge. The commuter collection is the most comfortable, breathable, and truly versatile set of products known to man. They have products for every occasion. I'm talking about the world's most comfortable pants, dress shirts, quarter zips, polos like the one I'm wearing today, and blazers. They look great as individual pieces and work seamlessly together. Their signature 4-way stretch fabric is breathable, flexible, and works everywhere from your commute to work to the 19th hole. Got easy style, wrinkle release technology. It's all great gold fusion anti-odor technology as well. The commuter collection gets you through any workday and right into whatever you've got next. Drinks, golf, just driving back home, whatever. Head to Rhone.com/chatsports and use code CHATSPORTS to save 20% off your entire order. That's 20% off your entire order when you go to RHONE.com/chatsports and use code CHATSPORTS. Find your corner office comfort with Rhone. Now, the O-line depth chart next year could look very similar outside of Zack Martin if he retires, if Terrence Steele plays well. I think your replacement plan as it relates to Zack Martin is kind of obvious, right? You're losing a Hall of Famer. That sucks. I'm not doing this. Got to spend a first-round pick on him. I think your replacement's already on the roster. I think what we saw from TJ Bass last season was very intriguing. I saw a lot of good stuff from him as a UDFA. I think he is your next man up at right guard whenever Zack Martin calls it a career. He's cheap. He's affordable. You can add another vet, I suppose, if you want. Brock Hoffman can do some chess piece stuff at center and guard. I think that makes sense. And then you go cheap there, and then Tyler Smith is due for a new contract. And that's how it all plays out. You keep backloading money, and you be aggressive, and you spend more cash than cap, which the Cowboys have not always been very good about, but I digress. I would like to make one more run for him. It sucks. It's not just Zack Martin that's had this. There's been a lot of great Cowboys to come through these halls over the past 20-something years that haven't had the playoff success that the player of their caliber deserves. Or DeMarcus Ware, etc. Now, he's a no-doubt Hall of Famer. Obviously, we lost Larry Allen recently. There's not many better guards in NFL history for anybody, let alone the same team, than Larry Allen and Zack Martin. So do not miss out on any Cowboys news here on the channel. We'll have the minicamp winners losers for you guys tomorrow. We'll have more coverage. Training camp still about a month and a half away. It's going to be end of July. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Injury update here on Peyton Hendershot. Shout out Nick Harris for breaking the news that he missed minicamp with what has been determined an undisclosed quote-unquote minor medical procedure, not related to the ankle injury he had last year that kind of led to him going to be with the rehab group anyway. What is a minor medical procedure? My mind went to he had appendicitis or he had to get his wisdom teeth out. Like that's what my mind goes to because it wasn't related to the ankle. And going to be good for camp, so I feel like that's like non-football related stuff, However, for Hendershot, you wish you were out there because you're missing valuable time. Jake Ferguson's making this team. Luke Schoonmaker's making this team. Cowboys, I think, we're going to put John Stevens on this roster over Hendershot last year. Princeton Fant has gotten a lot of work in practice squad stuff. They like Brevin Spanford as a blocker. Hendershot has been a little inconsistent. Like Schoonmaker, too. Too many drops. Blocking was not very good from Hendershot. So he is firmly on the roster bubble as we move to a very pivotal training camp period for him. So will Hendershot make the Cowboys roster this year? M for he makes the team. C for they decide to cut him in the end. Go ahead and get those predictions in for me in the comment section of today's show. Some more minicamp takeaways, and we'll expand upon at least a couple of these later on, or in tomorrow's video, I should say. This is every single day the media has been present. It has been a variation of, wow, Dak and Brandin Cooks hit a big-time play, hit a touchdown, hit a deep shot, hit a seam shot. It's a good thing. You want to hear steady drum beats, right? Every day that's been open, we've heard Dak and Cooks. I like that a lot. Eric Kendricks also flashing a little bit. They had the play one was Eric Kendricks makes basically a diving pass breakup. Ball gets batted in the air. Donovan Wilson picks it off against Dak. Then the next play, Dak finds Cook for a touchdown. That's kind of what you want to have. As weird as it sounds, you don't actually want the offense winning every single rep. Because that probably means your offense isn't very good. And you also don't want your defense winning every single rep, because that means your offense probably isn't very good. Kind of trying to have a little bit of both winning, right? Because you're playing against each other. Got to have confidence going on both sides. So with that in mind, what side of the ball do you trust more? O for the offense or D for the defense? Number 3, had a Ryan Flournoy sighting. A, he had a big play from Trey Lance down the sideline. Also had a touchdown on a little, like, not kind of mossing is how it's been described by Patrick Walker, of mossing the DB going up high. I like that. Flournoy's got some size and speed this team doesn't really have. He's a smaller school player. He is absolutely one of the guys I will be most closely paying attention to at training camp, because I want to see if he can make a splash. Sounded like a good day from Trey Lance as well. Had a really good throw to Jalen Tolbert to convert a 3rd down. Had a big play to Flournoy as well, I believe, and that was the touchdown too. So good stuff from Trey Lance there. Progression is not linear. It'll be a little bit up and down, but sounds like it was a solid day for Trey Lance. Stack those, and then real stuff gets going in the preseason. Finally, as we kind of mentioned, we thought would be the case yesterday, day 3 is canceled. That is where we sit at this time for the Cowboys. They're not going to have day 3. Maybe they'll do a little fun team bonding activity, but no day 3 needed for Dallas. They got all the stuff done they wanted. They will not be together till the end of July when training camp gets going.